So this is Baruch Flashman. I'm here at the Tikkun Elevator Colo. Let me show you where we're at right now. And I'm sorry that I don't always keep the pages together. I get in my head, and I don't really work off of the video. I work off of the book. So we're over here in Parsha Shelach. Maybe some fantastic things over here. I want to keep going on, and he's being metaphorizing, if I may say, the concept of the sun. And yesterday's year, we talked about an opening. The way the sun expands is through a door in it, for which the energy comes through. It's very Kabbalistic to be able to understand it. The same thing he wants to say, but he really wants to talk about when it goes down at night. That same door opens, and it brings out all the rest of the light that used to be there, comes back out, and you have the appearance of dark. So the door opens again, and all the light goes right through that door. It's gone. That's what he says is the metaphor of understanding. So what's this have to do with Kabbalah? Well, we have to try to work on this and see what he means to say. Came into all lelia, came in sheniknas alayla. So once the night comes, Sha'aza dinim is gavrin, right? Because we said the sun goes through that little door, and now it's gone. Piska the kutfa. What's that? There's Piska the kutfa. So Piska, I think it's like a little note. Shtar hakrisa v'gazera. So there's a divorce document, a decree. Ba'ach masay shakir, b'kis shalo nimsa. So he says that. Let's go back over it. At nighttime, he says there's this thing called Piska the kutfa. It's a star creases. This is it could either be a divorce or gezerah, some kind of den. So and he says ba'achamase shakir b'kis shalo nemsa. So it's found in a purse of some sort, or some kind of a container. Now, what does this mean? Ratzon Allah mishagavar nitnu rishus the malachi of Allah, because at this time, what does it mean? Means that at this time permission is already given to those agents called here malachi of destruction, the poil dim ba'olam, to actually act and carry out dinim in the world, v'hanish as a pashoyim, and to punish the people who are off the derech. B'chanat b'vidim trikan is b'shantach ba'alma. Now I have to say this is very hard Aramaic, so I have to really Baruch Hashem that we have the Matat Bedevash. Let's go over them. I think it's like a bilim, like bundles of trikin. I think it's some kind of malach, a chabala, is Pashata or Ba'alma. V'az kama chavura shal malachi of Allah, that's what he calls it. He says a trikin is a language somehow has to do with Kabbalah. I'm not sure. Mispashtim ba'olam, and they all spread into the world now. V'kulhu shatan be'irbuvia, and all of them, they're scattered, they're going chaotically everywhere. V'kulam b'shotadim be'irvuv, ki ein lechem seder kamo b'machnos hakadoshim, because they have no real order like you have in the campments of Kedusha. Now, all of these things, you could picture the Malachim, the Malachi Havola, or the Malachi Kedusha in any way that you want to. And I always say that for me, it's better to think of them as channels by which light flows up and flows down. So they're very particular. There could be billions or jillions, or there's no number for them. I mean, it's a different system altogether. So he said, V'azle v'haikan b'nafsha the rishai. So he said, what happened? Let me get this right. He says, v'heim holkin u'mitzachakim b'nefashas of rishayim. What did these malachi havola are doing? They're traveling around and they're starting to sport, mitzachakim. It's also lashon yitzchak too, a little shtickle, and it's like different kinds of gevuros. The nefashas of Rishoyim with the nefashas of the Rishoyim. This is the time when the Rishoyim come out. Now, just to say something, if you ever go into an inner city area, I used to work in inner city areas exclusively for a long time. In the daytime, no problems. I worked on fires, so if you had to go out there and fire. There's a fire is a different story because it's like a neighborhood event that took place at nighttime. It's firemen and police and all kinds of stuff going on there. That's a different. But you go down just say any Friday night, Saturday night, it's chaotic. It's dangerous. People get shot and killed. So different kinds of things there. In the daytime, not a problem. So he said, "V'heim cholkim u'mitzachake b'nefashos u'rishoyim lehis lahata osem bil cholomos shal helda." You're sleeping, basically, except for those people who were out in the streets. And at this time, the Malachi Havola start getting into people's imaginations, sitting around in the corner. Sometimes get them into sexual affairs. And to understand that the concept of sexual affairs is very, very big in Kabbalah. And this is probably a reason why many people I know from people on the Baba Sali side, I know there's probably a lot of diversity, but hold that single people should not learn this material. And the reason why is because, I mean, if you have to, you have to. No, I'll say it the other side. That's not right. And so therefore, there's a possibility that it brings this kind of sexual, get involved with sexual affairs, what I say. Husband and wife is the best possible situation. So over here he says, Carry means shvicha zera levatal. Omodim lon milim, and they teach them certain ideas. Minachon kedivin, minachon kshut. So they mix things up. Omodiim lohem devarim, so they let them know different things. Yesh bechem shikarim, v'yesh bechem imitim. There's some things that are sheker, they're lies. Some of it's are straight out lies, they're just wrong. And then there's other ones that are true. So there's a phrase that I heard, a Torah phrase, that a lie without some truth to it can't stand. But with truth with it, well, could be there a long time. So a person who finds himself in the midst of this, and he says, what's this mean? Go off the path, go by yourself at nighttime. Now, I'm not sure this means literally what it says only, because that's for sure true. You don't want to go into certain dangerous places, just like we say, in the dark. That's why if you watch a movie, you watch a TV show, and it's taking place at night, sinister time, right? So he said, "The Haina Misha Yotzi Yechida Belayda," but it can mean something else too. It means you're off the derech. You're going out by yourself into the time of din. Where are you going? What places are you going to inhabit? Doesn't mean that God's not there too. God's every place. So is Yehiv alone Rishus L'chabel. And now they have probably Nitan Lachem Rishus L'chabel to hurt, for L'chazik, and to really damage a person. B'nei alma naimim. But when this is going on, everybody else is asleep. Everybody's sleeping. B'nei ha'olim yishein. But tamim the musa, and what we're tasting when we're sleeping is a taste of death. The tormim tam misa. Machmas yistalchus hamochim shel zer anpin. The reason why is because the mochin is their anpin that left, and that's the metaphor that we said earlier. Is that the sun, which represents their anpin, is gone. The whole Kimna hasn't been talked about what the Zohar says. So he says it's a remark over there, Mikdash Melach, different Meforshim. Let's do one more. See if we can get through it. What's going on here? Tochazi, kad is our ruch's phone bovare. So, excuse me, come and see. Kishim is order ruch's phone when the north wind begins to blow. Koloma kishim is order this hey gavuros. Hamis hamumutakas the mansapach. So this takes some explanation just to be able to kind of understand a little bit. So he says, "It's our ruch's phone." So the ruch's phone, it's phone in means din. So it's just like south is chesed, din is in the north. So then we have different kinds of rules of what's going to happen in east and west, but that's this issue of going from the north. So the wind is blowing from the north. Bava Rekshim is order the Ruach Tzfon. So that Koloma Kishim is order this the Hey Gevuros. What's this idea? The five Gevuros, Hamamutekas Bekadem Mansipach. Now Mansipach are the five double of is that right? The five double letters of the 22 letter Hebrew alphabet. In Kabbalah, Mansipach refers to dinim. Okay, you could have dinim that are Gavuras or the Gavuras that just hurt you like crazy, and that's it. And you get yourself into that, you build that place for yourself. That's a Gehenim in your lifetime. But there are those dinim which are really good. It's a din of the mom, brings forth children into the world. This is called the Mansipach. But the thing you have to understand, if you're going to have children, then you're going to have to be provided for. You're going to be dependent because the children need care. Care is not something that has to do with going out and making a living. We're in this dilemma right now that all of the women in the United States have been going to public school with the boys. Everybody competes for the same thing. But in a real smart society, in a better society, in a Jewish society, the women can work, that's true, you have to. A lot of have to, but the main thing is that what's going on in the spiritual life. It has a lot to do with what women can do for their kids. So they really need to be around their kids as much as possible. Not, if yes, God's every place. But anyways, I'm a b'tech the mansipach. That's what this is. That's the sweetened din, the din of the mom, the iba. So he said the mansipach, the iba, the mom, the hoyer b'lemalchus b'chatzis alayda. That's when the night starts to shine from a different angle altogether. This is sweetened din because the bad din, that's the first half of the night. Bad din, don't go out at that time. But after midnight, things start to go more calm. It's going to be very quiet, very beautiful. Kaden is Knesset small. That's when the Jews, Knesset Yisrael is another word for malchus. Oz miskabelis Knesset Yisrael shehiyah malchus small. Then she starts getting built up for that left side, as we said before. But you want her to be built not out of the dark side of the left side, but from the light side of the left side. That's the sweetened dinim, which are called the mansipah. Kolomar. These five gevuros are also, that's why this, I'm just learning this as well. This is the five gevuros are Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, Netzach, and Hod. Those are the names of the five gevuros. And those five gevuros, but they're the mumutakos. These are the sweetened gevuros. These are the gevuros, the mom gevuros. They all come together and then they join in together. But someone to make a yichud Yaakov Leah at the midnight. Now, this is a different kind. This is a very intellectual yichud that we're saying here now. Instead of getting involved with the shmutza that leads one to carry chas v'shalom, and sexual averas is another way to say that. He said because we are really holding that sexual averas are really the cause of all of the violence that you see around. So when you don't have sexual averas, then you don't see that kind of violence. And this is called the Yichud of Yaakov Leah, which the Kabbalists say is from the chest upwards of your armpit. So now she's really dwelling there on the left side. That's her place. Behind the Leah Shora Bezroa small shell Yaakov. So now she's going to be resting on the left side of Yaakov, Shehi Makoma, that's her normal place. Now, once again, the Nukva, the female aspect, is on the left. But what you want is that the female, you realize, I think everybody has to realize the tremendous power that women have over men. It could be used at the worst places imaginable, which actually produces nothing but violence and filth, or it could be used in the most wonderful places, which could produce families and children and peace. So this is really what we're talking about right here. Now we're talking about taking the same quality, which is called Gevurah, which is a creative quality, Could be either one. You create something terrible or create something wonderful. So let's go back over here. And when this time comes at Chatzos, and this is what the Zohar is promising you, for those of us, those of you who can actually perform this and get up at midnight. Now, there's details about it. How much do you have to do? It doesn't have to be so much. Rabbi Yaakov Hillel says just saying the Birchas Shach, that's enough. Or anything, everything. There's much, much more to do. So there he delights with the Chassidim, the Tzaddikim in the Garden of Eden. The Ainu Rachel Yered is the Gan Eden. Sheba Olam HaBriya. So we said this before. This is part of the Ari that we learned in our first lesson here. That Rachel goes down into the Gan Eden that's in the Olam HaBriya. So if you are one of those people that learns our shtickle our whole night long, whatever you're able to do, that able to say that little Torah over there, that little Torah is a tremendous effect on Rachel, who's now down in the darkness along with you. V'kadein kol man the yisar lemile ba'raise b'haku shata ha'ishtata b'hada v'az kol misha misayra, anyone who awakens himself v'kom la'asa b'tera b'shasahi. Now they do emphasize is wakening. It's not like staying up, but even if you're just staying up, it's also the idea is the time itself, but they like the idea of waking up to it. I don't know who could do that. For me, it's very, very difficult. It's not like, say, I never did this. I get up early in the morning. It's not quite exactly the same, not to me. V'oz kol misha misorah v'kam la'asa b'torah b'shahi harehu mishtatef im rachel l'shevach l'zeram. So then, therefore, the person who is singing out the Torah that he's learning after midnight. So this person is now making himself in company, is becoming the partner of Rachel, who is in your world, down here with you. And you and she are singing together. Begin the he v'kol uchfus in the law, because her and all her angels, the fish he him call hamamonim shalom. She has many princesses and all different kinds of things. Shehem narosech, or her girls. V'shavchan l'malka elor mishtavkin l'melech ha'elyon shel zerach, and they all sing out their praise to the upper king. Who is the upper king? And what I said before, he is a progenitor, a non-physical progenitor of light, which ultimately condenses itself down to us. Besod Elokim al Demeloch, which is the secret of Elokim, who can be compared unto you. V'kol ina the yishtadchul, so all of those, right? They can be found b'tushbachta deraisa, and saying the prayers that come, the praises that come out of the Torah. V'oz kol eilu chatzadikim and nimsoyim b'shivkom shel Torah. The Hainu ma'oskim oz b'lima the Torah. It just means to say that people who are learning. What could learning be? Say shtickle tehillim. Say a psalm. You say it in English. The whole idea is to join together with what the real reality is. The real reality is that Rachel is with you at this time. You are living in a world that, according to Rabbi Yaakov Hillel, I believe I heard him say that this is called the Zohar. This is the poison of this. We're in the midst of poison. We're 80% Olam Asiyah of Asiyah. We're 80% of an 80%. I mean, we are in the midst of filth which is beyond our imagination. And you come at this time when Mother Rachel is there by you and bringing these sweet gevuros to you, to be able to get together at that time and to make a yichud there and sing along with her. It's tremendous aliyah for you. And then that chud shal chesed they talk about. V'kul chesiv b'bnei heichel. V'kul nechtavim b'nei ha'cheichel shel shechina. And all of these things that you're doing, it's all written down. If you could do it once in your life, if you could do it once a week, if you could do it once a month or once a year, if you could do this one time, it's written down in the Heichel of the Shechina. And it's called by their names. The Heindel Machmas Ma'alasim, because of their tremendous height. Maskirim Osach B'Shemish. They are what's the right word? Maskirim. They are recorded for the sun. Remember, the sun is their anpin. The sun is the one that shines. It's a higher connection than Rachel, who was able to go down into the dark, bring light into that darkness. Ve'ilin Rishimin b'Yamomo, ve'elo Rishumin b'Yom, and these things are all stamped during the day of Ayedecha b'Chut Shal Chesed, and through this little thread of Chesed, Hanimshach Nirsham Aleichem, and all of this comes down onto you. It's pressed onto you, onto your people. This is Baruch Fleischman. I'm out. Tikkun Elevator Kola.